Okay, so Joan was just talking to Bill Bissett, and for those of you who know Bill, he's the unofficial artist in residence of the Secret Handshake. We are here because of Bill's vision. I don't know what else to say except that this gallery is an umbrella of the Schizophrenia Society of Ontario, and it is a way to create alliances between people who have lived experiences and people who have not. It is such an inspiring, creative venue that I don't even know how else to describe it. So having said that, on a personal note, my dear friend, if you don't know Bill, then one day hopefully you'll meet him, but if you do know Bill, you may not know that his father was a lawyer. And his father was the lawyer at pro bono for Viola Desmond. And if you don't know Viola Desmond, you'll know her in a minute.
On the $10 bill.
On the $10 bill.
Yes. Yeah.
Come on, Viola, where are you? And so Bill grew up with that history. This is Viola Desmond. I'm one of the artists in residence at the Secret Handshake, the Friendly Spike Theater Band. And one of the things that we did under lockdown was we created a book called POEMDEMIC, which is now currently in the City of Toronto Archives, the Province of Ontario Archives, and the Library and Archives of Canada. Is Ruth, the director of the Friendly Spike, reached out to 45 poets across the country to send in work that the Secret Handshake under lockdown, before the shows were opened again, went into publishing. And so this is a Secret Handshake project. And so I'm the editor of this book, but I also wrote something. And what I wrote is called Afraid Not. I am afraid not. I am afraid not. Unraveling, revealing vulnerabilities once hidden, now shared with almost no one. Threads entwined, braided, knitted, transforming communities of singing life choirs. They now mesh with the enticing winds and roaring tides. This is a loneless language needing to be heard, relearned, ex-harmony, ex-vocabilities redefined. Adapt or die is the new motto. Adapt and live is the new mantra. Innovate, regurgitate, realign, be grateful. Once in a land far away, the chickadee and nuthatch fought for territory. Once in a land far away, I dared hug you. Now, in this land, inhabited by an invisible death scourge, I keep my distance, I keep my counsel, I remember my dreams. I am afraid not, looking to once again bind all that I love. Patience, they tell me, is the key of patience, the knot dangling from a new music. My book, called Bob Dylan, My Rabbi. And for those of you who don't know, but you know, it was rejected by the Canadian Jewish Book Awards, which I feel is actually more important than winning, because to be rejected in that sense, I think, says something. That if you don't like my book, we don't have anything in common. So it starts off with Bob Dylan, My Rabbi, How Does It Feel? Thank you for finding this book. If you are looking for insights or opinions into Bob Dylan or his writing, it won't be found here. I've entitled this book, Bob Dylan, My Rabbi, How Does It Feel?, as a gesture of profound appreciation for Bob and his influence on me, my singing, my attitude in performing, and finally, my writing, my ability to express how I feel. In 2017, I had the opportunity to sing at Toronto's Reference Library in tribute to Leonard Cohen with Canada's former parliamentary poet laureate George Eliot Clark. The library requested I have piano accompaniment. I lucked into meeting the exquisite pianist Neil Gardner. Once upon a time, Neil and I had a conversation about Cohen and Dylan when Neil asked, "Is Bob your man?" For some reason, that question jarred me, and I left the rehearsal in deep contemplation. I've never thought of Bob in the familiar. Leonard, yes. Bob, no. I went back in time in my memory for the first time I ever heard Bob. I was about 16 or 17 years old. I don't know where it was, but I remember a big place with lots of people and loud sound. Piped through the overhead loudspeakers came this voice imploring, "How does it feel?" In all of my 16 years, no one ever asked me. I was gobsmacked, or as Neil says, I was bobsmacked. All my life, I was told what to do, how to feel, what to expect, etc. When I thought, felt, and acted differently, I was admonished, scolded for being rebellious. Bob wouldn't leave it alone. He went on to say, "How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone?" And I was gone, engaged, committed to explore all the implications of this question. As a teenager, I spent so much attention to Bob that I could argue only using Bob lines like, "You got a lot of nerve to say you are my friend," or "There's no success like failure, and failure's no success at all," or "When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose," or "No, no, no, it ain't me, babe," or even "We never did too much talking anyway, so don't think twice, it's all right," or "I want to be your lover, baby, I don't want to be your friend." Or "He not busy being born is busy dying," or "She aches just like a woman, but she breaks just like a little girl," or "God said to Abraham, kill me a son," or "Everybody must get stoned," as well as this whole important verse. "Come, mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you don't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend a hand, for the times they are a-changing." While contemplating Neil's powerful poser and having the good fortune to be well-versed in Cohen poetry, and now comparing one to the other, if possible, I had the realization that Dylan was like a rabbi to me, not just a mentor or influence, but an actual spiritual guide. The great Leo Roston, in his book, The Joys of Yiddish, says, "From Hebrew, rabbi means my teacher." A rabbi is not an intermediary between God and people, not even or always a spiritual arbiter. A rabbi is a rabbi. His position traditionally gives him no power, no hierarchical status. The authority of the rabbi rests on his learning, his character, his personal qualities. Rabbis were enjoined to spread instruction and enlightenment, to uplift the morale. The rabbi is not imposed upon the congregation by an ecclesiastical hierarchy, but is freely engaged and disengaged by members of the community. And that's the end of that quote. And I'm going to stop this particular thing here because I just wanted to share a couple of other thoughts with you and then turn the floor over. Okay. So I'm just going to do two more. The first one was written, I don't know if you're jazz fans here, but the late Pharoah Saunders died last week, and I had the privilege of knowing him for a bit. When he came to Toronto, I befriended him, and he saw that I was a sincere, serious vocalist. And so I took him actually on this street, and we walked and we talked about its history, etc. And then I was inspired by him and encouraged by him to write, and this is a song, and I'll try to sing it. I don't know if I'll get through it, but I'll try. It's called Observance of the Dance. With clarity, I could see into the future, into the moment, like a curtain parting, revealing a scene of splendor. A room of great dimensions, a circle of partners, changing partners, couples, coming together, bowing, coming apart, back to back, moving on. Through countless eons of traveling, alone at times, together at times, an ancient eternal minuet, once again to meet, to greet, the day that is constant, the moment that is immemorial, a scene of grandeur, of fine silks and soft plush, the people mingling, a mix of equal missions, the food, the wine, the time once again to step from the curtain, off of the stage, into this sea of humanity. For a long time the world was silent in its busyness. For a long time the heart was yearning. For a long time. Anyway, that was the best I could do a cappella. Thank you. But it was meant as a way of challenging saxophones and drums and, you know, just like that. And then finally, Bill says this is my best work. I hope he's right. He's published this over and over again, and it's called Make Uncertainty Your Ally. Make uncertainty your ally, a wise man once said, and I took those words as if they were a skein of yarn and knitted them into a cloak, wrapping my dilemmas in its warmth. For that, I am grateful, the words, the warmth, the hope, and in hours and then moments of quiet desperation, I thought I would lose that thread and it would all unravel, but it didn't, and for that I am grateful. A caring friend called, another sent a letter, each knowing that I mattered to them. Yet I saw the darkness and I cried, where is the light? Where is my light? And then I let the thread go, like a balloon sailing in the air, or a kite ready to be liberated. At first it felt like a leaf floating, relieved of being part of a tree, and then it felt like anguish, the uncertainty of the familiar, of the unfamiliar. A voice, a message sails on the wind crying, reach for grace, the dignity of imperfection. Be grateful, you have touched the face of boredom. It would torture you. It would demean you. You came close and then you veered. Uncertainty did that for you. There is more to life than being certain. There is hope, a dream yet to be discovered. You cannot do it when you are assured. It must be done when you need an ally. Know that they are there, all your allies. They are hidden in the invisible uncertainty. Be grateful, walk in dignity, have hope. Let the dream find you. You got rid of what didn't serve you. The smile will come. Your heart will fill with gladness. This is the promise of time. It is yours. Look no longer at what doesn't serve you. Go forth, be grateful, be. So on that,